Hello, I'm Brittany Hazelton, and this is ArkLaTex Artistry, where we explore the arts in our area, and we also explore local businesses sometimes. And this business is getting upgrading to a new space, allowing more room for their adventures for their customers. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Chance. I'm one of the two owners of Gamers XP, and yeah.
And I am Megan. I am the event and media manager at Gamers XP.
All right. So go ahead and tell me a little bit about first this new space that you guys are getting and what your business is getting in this upgrade in space.
Okay, so we're upgrading. We're basically doubling our current size, and we're doing that because we've grown to a point where frequently our parking lot is overflowing. There's not enough space in the building, and so we're trying to expand to provide more offerings for what we can do with the store, and to make it a much better place for customers. Because we have people now that come in and say that they had to park, 3 or 4 parking lots away. So it's a much needed upgrade, and we're going to be expanding the types of things we do and the scale of things. So some of our tournaments will be bigger, and we'll have more offerings as well, like from a product line perspective and other games and tournaments.
Okay, so you guys are adding more tables
Yeah.
and more things. That's cool. So let's talk about the games that you guys do. So someone give me an example. How would you explain your business to someone that has no idea what y'all are?
So the easiest way to explain it would be that we are a local game store. I guess that's the industry name, but basically we are a store focused around tabletop gaming.
Yeah.
So more traditional styles of gaming. Now, some of the things we do can transfer digitally, like people play D&D online and play
Yeah.
card games online. But everything we do in the store focuses around sitting around a table, interacting with other people, engaging in a way that the longer technology exists, the farther we get away from that in everyday life. So it really gets a chance to reconnect people playing like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, other card games, Warhammer, D&D. That's the focus of the stores, is bringing people together for events, and that's one of our key aspects of our business is events.
Well, I think it's good to have something like that in this area for the gamers because Shreveport and Bossier is a very got a large, I think, community of gamers, and you guys have kind of proven that with the amount of people you get coming into
Yeah,
y'all's
absolutely.
business, and I think they want that interaction. That's kind
Yes.
of what tabletop's about, really, is that interaction, the physical sit down and go on adventures or go play Warhammer and have a tactical battle against
Yeah.
someone with the figures that they hand painted,
I
right?
spent hours crafting and building. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming to the end of our fifth D&D campaign right now, and at its
Oh wow.
peak, we had 110
Something to
something
that
like that.
effect.
It was north of 100 players
Wow.
at a time. We're not quite there right now. We're at like 60, but this is 60 people who come into our store every single week to play D&D. So like you said, there's a Shreveport has a lot of, I guess, nerd community.
Yeah.
That
I feel like it has something to do with gaming just seemed to be an outlet for a lot of us in various forms. I play, like, for example, both video games and tabletop, but like that's always like everybody I know is like it's not weird being a geek here. It's like
right.
normal at
Yeah.
this point to be a
Yeah,
geeky person.
it's definitely
Nerd is a term of endearment.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the most eye-opening experiences that we have a lot of times center around like people that have been a nerd or a geek for 50 plus years, and they come
Yeah.
in and they're just like, I can't believe this exists. When they were a teenager, things that they did and enjoyed were basically they were the outliers,
Yeah.
and now it's not the case. Obviously, D&D. There's a campaign that sold out Madison Square Garden for
Oh
people,
yeah.
for people just to watch you play
Was that
D&D.
critical mass?
It was
That was
Dimension 20.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
think.
yeah,
Dimension 20.
Dimension
Brandon
20.
Lee Mulligan,
Oh yeah.
bless him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely much more popular, and then that's just D&D. Obviously, trading card games have been around for 30 years. It's
Wow.
Magic the Gathering is the biggest, and that's our biggest core community. We have probably anywhere from 60 to 100 people in the store throughout the week, unique people playing Magic the Gathering. And that's just on a weekly, not considering special events and stuff like that. So there's a massive community of people that engage in this stuff. And in a place like Shreveport-Bossier, with the military base being a massive boon to businesses, it's very interesting to see such a massive aspect of our customer base and player base coming from the military base too. So it's just a very common thing now for everyone from every walk of life to be into video games or tabletop games or D&D. It's much more common nowadays.
Yeah, it's a huge industry.
It is,
and from the sounds of it, it's good that you guys are getting a bigger space.
Yeah, we absolutely need it.
Yeah, I have a few friends that play Magic the Gathering sometimes at y'all's place, and they are like parking partners. It's not going to be at their building.
As it is right now, we have 36 parking spots at our current building, which is absolutely not enough.
Yeah.
But when we move, I mean, there's 400 or something ridiculous number of spots in that parking lot. So,
and it's going to be the move is it's necessary for the growth of our business, but the biggest aspect is it's going to make everything a lot more comfortable for customers and players too. So.
So are you guys planning on well, I guess let's talk about what games do you guys mainly see played or bought at your facility?
Megan can answer it. So she's our event person. Her entire job focuses around playing. So,
like I said, we have a huge D&D community. We have for several years. Our Pokemon community has grown a lot lately. So that's a really big focus. Magic, of course, is kind of our core focus as a local game store. It's not the only thing that we focus on, but it's the biggest game that we have.
I'm not surprised,
Warhammer is growing a lot right now, too. So Warhammer 40K, there's actually been some movement on Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is like the fantasy version of Warhammer. So people who don't necessarily want to fight robots, but they'll fight like the orcs and dwarves and, and all of that. That we see a lot of. We've got a lot of new games that are coming in. So Illustrals is a newer game that we have just started hosting games for, because we have a member of our community. He's mainly a Yu-Gi-Oh player, but that came to us and was like, hey, I'm a community ambassador for this game. I would really like, to try and host events. So we've done a Learn to Play demo. We've got pre-release scheduled and release events scheduled for this game, because a member of our community brought it to us and was like, hey, I want to try this thing. Riftbound, which is the League of Legends game. There's a lot of video game and card game crossover happening lately. Is something new that we're really excited about. We just had a demo event for that as well, and we've got our release event scheduled and up on our website. There is a wide variety of games that we carry. It's really hard to say what the biggest ones are, but if I had to pick three, it would be Magic, Pokemon, and D&D. 100%.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So I had a question. Have you ever worked with any local game makers? I know there's a few here.
So we've had a few run-ins with local game makers, but it's more of it's a thing that happens naturally sometimes, and sometimes both sides don't really know how to approach it, because we have a customer who's been a long-time customer who's making a card game, and he really wants it to grow. We've tried to be very supportive of it, but there are other people that come in, and game makers we don't see a ton of. We do see a lot of local creators, though, people that are, they crochet things, or they use 3D printers to build certain elements, or we have another guy who makes leather dice bags. So there's a bunch of different local creators we support, but we haven't had a ton of run-ins with local game makers, which we'd definitely be open to. We're incredibly community focused. So I should get Highland Paranormal Society to talk to y'all then.
Yeah.
He makes pocket role play games that he does all the art for, and then he has his own Patreon where he runs the.
That would be awesome.
Send him our way. We 100% like he said. We have our guy who does. He has a whole business doing leather work, but he brings us dice bags and stuff that we sell in store for him. One of our DMs, Nick Furlong, that he just had a gallery opening.
Oh, yeah,
here,
Nick.
Here lately.
He was on my show.
Yep, I love him to pieces. He's one
Aw.
of our dungeon masters, but he's brought us coloring books and stickers and all kinds of
Aw.
things that he's done from his art. And we sell that. We had someone for a while that had dice that she would bring in that
Oh, yeah.
she made that we
That's
sold her
cool.
dice in store.
Some resin for
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So like we're always open to that, especially if it lines up kind of with what we
Yeah.
do. It 100%.
That's great, and that's a great way to also be kind of like immersed in like the local
Mhm.
creator community
Absolutely.
too.
Like
You know.
this one went to the night market not long ago and found a bunch of like crocheted Pokemon and just brought
Aw.
back a carload of crocheted Pokemon for us to have in the store.
Aw.
From someone that loved to do it, and she'd been doing it a long time, and she didn't see from her own words, she didn't see a ton of success with those specifically at the kind of thing she was doing. But I told her, I was like, we'll buy all of them because we have tons of
Aw.
Pokemon people in our store. So, and Pokemon is a very, very popular subject right now. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Pokemon's always been
So
so far.
yeah, we're always open to talking to local creators.
Well, I will have to talk to you guys because we're doing right now a test campaign because, you know, Passing of Time is the name of it, and I've been writing it since I was 13 years old as an actual story, and then we started developing the tabletop probably, like, me and my husband started it, like, probably 15 years ago.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been together 18.
Uh-huh.
He started role-playing with me when we started the world
Yeah.
build it, and we basically have our entire system, our own races, our own
Yeah.
classes, magic system, everything's completely
That's
original.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have to ask you,
we'll-
like,
we'll
just
chat.
to let us sit there and test it there.
Uh-huh.
No,
That-
I mean,
yeah,
and then
nice.
a lot of times we'll do, as long as people come to it, like if you came to us and we can organize it, we'll do like a come test this out. We'll advertise it so people
Yeah.
can show up and then
Oh.
they can just sit
Like-
down
like
and
we
play
said,
play with you.
Like a demo event and stuff,
Yeah.
just to try to get people
That'd be
interested.
really cool. I'm glad to see that you guys offer that kind of thing. I'll probably get in touch with some of the game
Yeah.
creators
Yeah,
I know.
Absolutely.
Because I know a few here that
Yeah.
might actually be interested
And
in this.
We're moving into bigger space. We'll just have even more room to do the events
Yeah.
like this. So.
That's really cool. So, let's see. And I know we probably answered this question, but I want to hear from y'all's perspective. How does y'all's business correlate with creativity?
So there are elements that are definitely creative. That's one of her specialties, and she's been with the store for five years. And so, and the bigger we've gotten, the more we have needed to like expand and create like our own brand. So the creativeness from the store side has come like tenfold from where it used to be. Like the shirts we're wearing now, these were designed for the newest Magic set, and
Aw.
Megan designed them.
They're cute.
This is like our little mascot.
This is
his
Quincy the
name's-
Closet.
Yeah,
Aw.
and this set was a Spider-Man Magic set, so he's venomized.
Uh-huh.
So the creativity, at our core, we want to continue to be creative. It's Trace. He's my partner, the other owner. He is he's coined himself. He's the idea guy. So he's always trying to come up with new and creative ways to like expand the store from what we offer to what we can do to bring new communities
Yeah.
in. And then obviously I'm the back end person that makes sure that we have the financial support, and then Megan's the execution basically leg of that to make sure that it's presented in a way that people want to come check out
Yeah.
things. And then obviously that's just the store side. The creativeness for people, I mean, a lot of people don't think about it a lot for trading card games, though, especially Magic and the format of Commander, which is the biggest format. It's an incredibly expressive way to play a card game
yeah,
because you get
it
to
is.
build decks around your favorite themes or your favorite creature type, or if you just really like a certain thing. Like now, obviously, if you're a big Spider-Man fan, you can build a whole deck centered around Spider-Man. Or villains, or if you really like elves and the fantasticalness of them, you can build an entire elf deck. And
Yeah,
that's just,
it really
that's
is
just
an
one card game.
expressive thing.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
Building your own deck and being strategic with it at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, you know.
And then, like you said, that's just one of the games that we do. Like we have Warhammer is a great example
for sure.
for our hobbyists and our
Oh, yeah.
painters. Like some of the paint jobs that I have seen come in on armies is absolutely insane.
Oh yeah.
And just gorgeous. We have some pieces that we have up that are kind of showcase pieces. Like someone has spent dozens, if not hundreds, of hours on one model.
Oh yeah.
And it's beautiful work. And then we have, like I'm gonna keep coming back to our D&D campaign because that's my baby.
Yeah.
I have been leading that for a really long time, but these, not only my dungeon masters but my players, and like the things that they come up with and the backstories that they bring me are just absolutely insane. There's an entire world that Bloodroot is actually built into this world as well. It's the Green March universe, so it's not the Marvel universe, it's the Green March universe, and it's all of the stories that we have told in this one setting over the last half of a decade. Like there is an insane level of creativity in those walls.
It's storytelling, and that kind of storytelling and getting people into their characters, that brings out a lot of creativity in people who, especially if they've never done D&D before and you sit them down and, I've seen people like start painting figures and never picked up a paintbrush in their lives, never thought about making a character in their lives, and here they are imagining up backgrounds.
Absolutely.
Now we do a lot. We make sure because the campaign has grown obviously tremendously from its inception. But so now the DM's job and our and Megan's job specifically is curating that experience. So she works with DMs a lot to make sure that player expression isn't squashed completely. Sometimes we have to rein people in because their creativity gets out of bounds as a player. But the DMs
leave the DM to do the major work.
But the DMs help players create backgrounds that tie into the worlds, and like D&D is obviously the easiest way to see creativity a lot of times because we'll have players. This campaign hasn't had as much, but we have had numerous players come in like full garb. One of our players who really stands out, he played a bard in a campaign, and he came in every time with his instrument on his back and fully dressed and was very into his character. But we also have D&D, like the creativeness, because we have a section of our player base that's so ingrained in the world that Megan's built and the DMs have helped express throughout 5 years. That people get really attached to the world, and so they want to play more. So we have
Yeah.
we have Discord events for that are online events, and then we have out of store events where like one of the bigger ones is we had this gala in game where there was a huge event happening, and so Megan curated making this thing happen outside where the gala happened in real time, and people came as their characters. And
that's great.
Yeah.
We're actually doing another event extremely similar to that one this coming Saturday. So,
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That sounds like, that's a very great experience, and you're getting to have that physically with friends.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of our world, Discord events are great too because you
Yeah.
are communicating, but I feel like so many people, they'll just play a video game by themselves in a room and then
Yeah.
they never interact with anybody.
But when you get to go be in this space that we have like dressed up and decorated for you, and we have our dungeon masters who are coming in as their campaign NPCs. So we have, like Fae courtiers who are coming to this masquerade that we're hosting. And it's people that and are familiar with, but like it just immerses you in that world, and it's a fantastic time.
And in line with the D&D, obviously is like a bottomless well of creativity and
It really
expression.
is.
But like the other side of, like you mentioned, people staying at home playing video games. We get a lot of people that come into the store that are very uneasy, or they're very like taken aback because they come in and the store is full of
It can
people.
be overwhelming. Yeah.
And that's what we have tried to develop, like just an atmosphere, and we try to employ people that are very outgoing. So when you come into the store, within a few minutes, you're going to hopefully be greeted and like talk to, and making sure that the thing that you're into, we do, and try to show you the things that you can experience in the store, and trying to help guide you, because a lot of people are very nervous. I mean, in reality, like we talked about, nerd being much more common, but nerds and geeks still a lot of times suffer from social anxiety aspects, and so
they haven't been enough, haven't developed their social skills very
absolutely.
well, and it's great that you guys are helping them kind of develop
and
that skill.
we try to, and from every kind of position too. We get people that come in that have played games all their life but never been in a game store, which is, to me, it seems crazy.
That is
right?
a little
Obviously.
crazy.
But then there are people that are like, you guys, like, the parking lot is full, has the word gamers on it, I wanted to see what you did. And they walk in, and all they've ever played is video games. Like, what do you do here? And they're like, you can buy Pokemon or play D&D or Warhammer. And we've literally got people that the word gamers was enough to entice them because they play video games. And through, like, the ability for us to just communicate with people and try to help them, bring them in, we've been able to like turn them into tabletop gamers in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean it's not hard to, I feel like, especially if they already like some of those things and they're playing it in a video game format, but you hear, there's this other format of it. Gamers like to play all the versions of the games they're into,
or,
right?
it's someone who has played kitchen table Magic for 20 years, but they've never like played in an official store setting.
Yeah.
And then we go, okay, well, hey, maybe you don't want to jump right into Commander Night and like a structured event, but if you come in on Saturday, there's people here playing Commander all day Saturday. Just come find new friends to play with.
Just play. One of my friends will probably be there, probably playing it. All right. Well, so how can people get involved with y'all's community? How can they follow y'all socially so they can learn about y'all's events?
So the easiest way is just search the Gamers XP on Facebook. We post there literally 3 to 4 times a day with all of the things that we have going on. If you want to keep up with events specifically, if you go to thegamersxp.com, we have an extensive event calendar there.
Nice.
We have all of our weekly events listed. We have special events listed for like the next 2.5 months is kind of how far out that we keep them. So if you really like Magic and you want to see when the next Magic releases, we have our Avatar pre-releases already up on our website. If you like Warhammer or you want to try it and you want to see when we play Warhammer, you can go check out our weekly events and you'll see Friday night fights. If you want to try to figure out how to get involved with the D&D campaign, there is a whole page dedicated to the D&D campaign and everything that goes on and what our session schedule is and everything. So we focus really hard on trying to keep those 2 resources up to date. We're also on TikTok. So you can search the Gamers XP on TikTok. Our social media girl does a fantastic job with our
Nice.
TikTok content. We do have an
We
Instagram.
have Instagram, yeah.
For anybody who still uses Instagram, I don't, but we do have it. That is, we keep that pretty poppin' too.
And
so.
Discord, like we
And
mentioned.
Discord, yeah, 100%.
We're basically anywhere that you want, if you're experiencing social media at all, we're there. I mean,
Okay.
and obviously we mentioned Facebook. It's not to show our age a little bit, but obviously it's our generation is much more in tune with the Facebook style. of
Hey,
things,
actually, Shreveport is completely mostly Facebook.
yeah.
Like even our news,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
know it.
yeah.
And I think, and I've talked to the artists about this because they're like, I used to do Instagram, but like no, Facebook is everywhere. It's like the only thing people use. I was like, yes, but it's because you can make events on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Shreveport's a very festival, revelry, very much an event
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
city. We like our events, so the best place to keep track of those events is definitely Facebook. So
Yeah, and so we used to use Facebook for events, but our event calendar grew so much that we
Yeah.
had to
I
move
mean-
to our website. But we still post like updates about events, like pre-release. We had
there you
for
go.
like 2 weeks. We had different specialty things coming out, telling people about this new pre-release. D&D, we advertise special events a lot of times, but it's also hard because our weekly event schedule is very large. So there's
Yeah.
a
I imagine.
yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You how many events you would have to make on Facebook?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be so.
I used
You would
to
need
do
it.
that. That was my job, and I told him I wasn't doing it.
That would
anymore.
be
We were
most of
doing
your
that.
job. Yeah.
because it's not designed for an event space exactly, right? So yeah, we have recurring events and stuff, but we're reachable at basically anywhere that you can find. You can search it. You Google us, we'll pop up. Our website will for sure.
All right.
And we have articles in all kinds of different ways. We're trying to grow our reach in a way that is more organic, so people can find us with something that they're interested in.
Okay,
so.
before we go though,
Yeah.
how did you guys start Gamers XP and why?
So but to be frank, I did not start Gamers XP. I came in very, very, very early, but Trace did.
Okay.
And it started from a love of gaming and being dissatisfied with basically the environment in Shreveport-Bossier. We saw a lot of stores open and close
Yeah.
and offer subpar experiences or offer great experiences for a short amount of time and then just poof, they disappeared.
Yeah.
Whereas 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there were some incredible stores here like Legends and
I
Tom's
remember
Triple
Legends.
Play. Those were both remembered incredibly fondly,
Yeah.
and Trace remembered those very fondly. And so there was an opportunity when he worked in the oil fields basically to do this, and he didn't know what he was doing, and that's basically where I came in. He was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get a space, me and him had become friends recently,
Aw.
and I took on the mantle of helping organize the store, and
Thank goodness.
yeah, because he's an idea guy, but he suffers a little bit with execution, but it wouldn't be here without him, and it definitely came
Aw.
from a need and a want to provide something. That's where the name comes from. The Gamers XP is our full name, and it's providing the best experience. That was his core
Aw.
element to the store, and it focuses around events and basically coming in and feeling like you're a part of something that doesn't feel like a normal retail store, right? You come in and someone notices you and they talk to you about something that you're familiar with, not just like, what are you looking for? It's on aisle 3, right? There's none of that here.
Yeah, if you come in and ask one of our employees where you can find sleeves, they're not going to point across the store. They're going to come out from behind the counter and they're going to walk over to the sleeves with you, and they're going to
Nice.
talk about the different sleeves that we have and help you pick a color if you need.
Aw.
Like it's very much providing an experience, not just a retail location.
I think that the best businesses come out of passion. and
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it sounds
yeah,
like.
and I am 100% on board. But sometimes, and he recognized that. For Trace, all Trace's credit, he recognized that passion isn't the only thing that's
Yeah.
necessary, right? And that's what I think we saw previously was we saw people starting a game store because they wanted
Yeah, but
to.
then there's social media,
Yeah.
managing those things, being open and available to
Yeah.
for the public and know how
Yeah.
to reach those
Yeah, 'cause
people.
some- yeah,
It's important business element
Yeah, and,
too.
and sometimes, depending on where you go, you'll find game stores. Not it's like us. Stores like us definitely exist, but
Yeah.
you'll find a lot of other ones where you walk in and it's a store that's just someone opened it because they like
Yeah.
playing Magic the Gathering, and that was basically where it stopped. And so Trace was like, "I need help. Do you want to help me with this?" And it's been 8 years, and I said yes then. And basically, it's just been a wild ride then. And now both of us do it full time because both of us had other jobs at the time. But we both do it full time, and obviously, it's expanded a lot. I think we have.
We have 11 employees, not including the two of you right now.
So there's 13 of us though that Gamers XP now is part of
Very
a
nice.
part of their whole life, and we basically only employ full time people too. So.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's just, but it definitely came from passion and providing an experience that people are super fond of. And in line with that, I just want to, this compliment got given to us, me and Megan personally, in a private meeting we were having with a marketing company, and they mentioned that the store felt like Blockbuster. And which is, I didn't realize would be such a good
I
compliment.
could kind of get that
Yeah, but like
vibe.
you
know?
walk in, I mean, obviously.
It's an
there's
experience.
yes.
I mean, Blockbuster
You
was
walk
an
in on a
experience.
Friday night, and you're like, you're just so excited to be there.
Yeah.
And you get to do the
It's
thing.
packed. The energy is really high and
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
I could kind of get that.
Yeah,
You
Yeah, I
can
get
spend.
that.
You can easily spend 2 hours just browsing everything that we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, and it is the passion is, and that's the thing is we realize that's the driving force, obviously. So
It is.
when Megan came in, she definitely didn't do any of this initially, but we realized that it needed to expand and
Well,
social media, that
I
aspect.
find that when people are excited about something, they'll learn how to do things. They'll get more into it just so that because they're excited to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it's always going to be a mix of passion, but also business organization and
Right.
marketing, right? That's always going to be important.
Kind of funny in relation to D&D specifically because Megan did not have hardly any experience with
I
D&D.
did not.
Wow, really?
I did not.
So you just kind of like jumped
So,
in learning.
I don't know how familiar you are with like specific module releases and stuff, but Candlekeep came out in 2021. And I had played a few games of D&D. I had never run a session ever.
Yeah.
But Candlekeep, is all about the Candlekeep library. So it's all about books. It was an anthology series. Everything was like based on a different book.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really cool. I really want to run this. So we set up a thing. It was every Monday night. It was free. You could come in, play Candlekeep. In the first 3 or 4 sessions, I had 3 or 4 people. It was fun. It was chill.
Aw,
It was a
yeah.
good time. And then one day we had 20 people show up. So I called my, at the time, roommate, now fiance, and I was like, hey, I need you to come help me. Like, I can't do 20
Yeah,
people every week.
that's when
Yeah.
you start getting code DMs.
Yeah, so I called him in, and then we ran through the rest of Candlekeep, and then we kind of were just like, we could just, like, let's just do a story campaign. Like, we have all these people,
Yeah.
where Candlekeep's done, like, we want to keep it going. So we did our first campaign, and that first year was free. And we went from about 20 people every session with Candlekeep to session 1 of the first campaign, we had 45 people show
Wow.
up. And we were making emergency phone calls of like, hey, I need some support. I need you to come in. And it has just continued to grow from there.
Very nice.
Yeah, but passion is a lot, and that's what gets a lot of people into it. Like, people come in because Pokemon is super popular, but people I like Pokemon. They come in and then they realize what the hobby is about,
Yeah.
and they just delve deeper in. And that happens on so many, like Warhammer we mentioned. There are people that are super into Warhammer that don't ever even play because the passion is so deep for painting. All they
And
do
I
is
mean, it's
paint
also
images.
got its own whole
Yeah.
storyline.
Oh, yeah.
That's just
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like, if you're not interested in playing, even
Yeah.
just reading
Yeah.
about
I
it,
mean,
is
there's
playing the
entire
video
novel
games.
series
Yeah,
and
there is.
everything.
So it's not so. That's great. I'm glad you guys are here. Honestly,
Thank you.
it's nice to have. Because when I first saw y'all pop up, I was like, I hope they last. And that's like, because, we were kind of let down a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And you guys have continuously progressed and have become this. I'm glad you guys have got a new space. I look forward to seeing where y'all go with it.
Thank you so much. It's been an adventure, and it's gonna only hopefully get bigger and better as time goes on.
Well,
That's the plan.
thank you guys so much for talking to me. I'm
Thank
glad I
you.
finally got you guys on here because I've
It
been.
took a while.
It
but
did take a while, but I've been wanting to actually talk to y'all for a while, probably longer than you knew. But thank you guys for coming and talking to me about
Thank
this.
you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.